Hey there guys, it's Psycho Red here, and I wanted to give you guys a review on a new game, well not so new, but a game called Final Fantasy Mobius, or Mobius Final Fantasy. So, this game is only for people that are across seas in Japan, and if you are wanting to know how to get this game installed onto your phone, I'm going to let this actually load while I prep you guys. I'm going to actually put a link in the description on how to get games from across seas in Japan over to your iDEVICE, so that way you can play them for free, because there's plenty of Final Fantasy games that come out. Now, people have been wanting me to do a review. I'm actually going to lower this up a little bit. People have been wanting me to do a review on this game, and at first I was kind of hesitant to, because the game is really complicated. If you don't have the patience for it, it can just be really frustrating, because most of the text and the characters are in Japanese, or they have Japanese characters. So it took me some time to try to figure out how this game really works, and I gotta admit, if you really push past if you push past the language barrier and you just try to focus on what how to play the game, you end up coming out of it actually enjoying it. It's actually a really enjoyable game that I hope would come over to the United States and to the Western countries. The graphics on this are amazing, and I really enjoyed playing this. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and get into Final Fantasy Mobius. So, we're going to hit this home button here, and this is kind of the overlay. I'm actually playing through a level right now, but this is just kind of just how the game looks right when you start, pretty much. And you pretty much, the character that you are playing with, his name is Wol, W-O-L, and I believe this honestly takes place in the realm of Final Fantasy 1. And the reason why I say that is because in this character, and if you notice on the top left corner, you'll notice a little fairy that's with him as well. Both of them are in Final Fantasy Record Keeper, and they're labeled under as Final Fantasy 1. Most of these characters have their own, or any characters that from Tactics or characters from Tactics are labeled under as Final Fantasy Tactics, but these characters are actually labeled under as Final Fantasy 1. So I think they take some place in the realm of Final Fantasy 1. But if you notice, there are a bunch of icons on the sides and on the bottom here. One that says Card, Social, Shop, and etc. Let's go into each one of those, and I'll show you what those mean. So Card here is you pretty much are using the powers of different cards to battle. And with these cards, you can do fire, ice, water, or there's a leaf, or that might be even air. And then if you notice at the very end, the little record keeper symbol guy, he has the power of a heart or healing ability. And my character right now, I've been leveling him up, but he's been kind of rough. He's a mage right now, but as you go along in the game, you end up picking up other abilities, and each ability, or every class I should say, has its own armor. So if I wanted to go to default, he would switch over to default. There we go. So he's got his sword, he's just in his default status form. And then on the top, we have the different cards that you can choose. So there's fire, water, there's earth, pretty much all the main elements to the game. But with every job class that you or that you get in touch with, or that you acquire, they either allow you to use certain abilities and they restrict certain abilities. So if you notice, as my normal job class, this limits this wind, or I'm gonna guess that it's wind. It limits the wind ability, noticing the caution sign above, right on top of that card. So I would have to actually choose that card out and choose a different card that doesn't have a exclamation point on it saying warning, you're not allowed to use this ability. So each class has its own different armor specs, and everyone has its own different abilities. So like for this one, I wouldn't be able to use fire, so you really have to choose between the different lands which is the best class to use, and then go and use that class, because some of the enemies may be earth based, they may be wind based or water based and fire based, and you want to use the element against them to beat them, and to beat them a little bit easier. So let's choose, let me see here, let me put one in that spot so I'm not left without. That's fine. Okay. Now under social, actually, there's tons of things. There's so many menus in this, and it took me forever to try to figure out. So forgive me if I don't know it offhand. This one, I believe it might be a subclass, or it might be, or it just might be a secondary job. Just in case if you want to switch between jobs, you can. That, or it may be something that links to another character. I really don't know, so I really haven't delved into that much. This is just a layout, or this is just shows all your different cards. Third option. Fourth option, I believe that also shows all your cards as well. Let me see, actually. Looks like both of them do the same. I've been playing this for a little bit, so I'm still even learning the different menus and what does what. So the card menu actually just really shows what kind of cards you have, and their different abilities if you choose to pick one. Let me lower that, or turn that up a little bit. Now we go under social. Again, I have yet to dive into each and every single one of these menus, so forgive me if I don't. It's just, I've been trying to actually just get through the game. Now I believe you can also change the name of your character, and I'm sure you can change like the ability of your fairy as well too. These are your different items. You can kind of gather what's what just by the sack. It usually looks like an item bag. There's probably like achievements, what you've done, what you haven't done, what people have done, and what the leaderboards are. Some of these people have incredible amount of cards, and they level them up all the way to like level 71 and past that. So they're this really kind of just shows you how you rank against everybody else. So social is just kind of what it is. It's just a social aspect of the game. There's shop, where you can you actually earn crystals for, I don't believe so much for logging in, but for completing different quests, and for defeating certain bosses and enemies and levels. So as you earn those crystals, you can buy more cards, and the more cards you have, or at least the better cards that you have, the easier some of the levels will get. So this is kind of the, if you will, the where you spend the money portion. So let me see here. So that's pretty much shop. Etc. is just kind of like the videos, the game center, just kind of the annoying menus part of the video game. And then we have down here the different types of quests and things that are going on within the game. Right now there is a huge Final Fantasy 12 not quest, I should say, but you can gather cards from that realm, and you can allow some of the characters' abilities to aid you. The chest here, they give you, actually I believe it is, you do get crystals for logging in. But every so often they give you some treasure chests, and usually I have no idea what the top two bars mean, so I end up clicking the bar on the side, and I actually just select them that way, versus there may be an option where you can just trash all, and that's the last thing that I want to do. Lastly, or not lastly, but I believe this may be playtime. I really don't know what this option is. And for the final one, there is a world option where you can change different levels, and you can go all throughout the world and just see what kind of quests are around and take on those quests. Some quests, I believe they rank on which you should go through first versus the ones that are in red, which look like to be the hardest ones. And I believe purple may be even harder than that. So tread lightly. And I believe blue should mean that it's a pretty easy map or world to venture onto. So in this particular realm that I'm in, you'll notice that there's some check marks all around. These are just the levels that I've completed and the levels that still need to be completed. So let's actually continue on. I'll show you how the gameplay actually works. So right when you choose a level, you're able to choose a card from somebody else, and you can use that card within the battle. So let's go and choose this guy. Can never have too much healing abilities in this game too. And the graphics aren't that bad, actually. The graphics are pretty decent, and honestly they're like way better than PS1 graphics, or at least PS2 graphics. Let's speed this up, actually. So everything is turn-based. If you notice, I'm kind of dealing with guys of the same elements, so I'm not going to be too excited about that. But there are some guys that have different elements, and there's ice there too. So we do have a couple of guys that have different different attributes or different elements. So let's actually take on. Actually, didn't want to do that for. Well, yeah, that's fine. So tapping on the screen does your normal attack, as you notice. Now, when you have gems on the top, the red and the fire and the ground, they allow your abilities to activate, or your cards to activate. And if you notice on the side, your cards have a box next between them. So like the top one, it has Vaughn right there. There's 3 bars right there that will activate the card, and you need but you need 3 of the fire gems, if you notice, on the very, very top for that card to activate. If you have 3, then you can go ahead and use that card. So if we select that, then we can use that. But this guy is fire, so we really don't want to do that. So we'll choose a different element. That way we're not either powering him up or at least doing any sort of weak attacks. So we're going to choose the next one, which is the green card below that, which is like, again, I believe it's either wind or some sort of ability. So we'll choose that one. And he does more of an attack that way. So he still is fire, so we're going to wait on that. We're going to hold off on that. And he's down. Okay. Let's see here. So this guy is ice. Let's go and take him down with fire then. And how about a little green there too? And one more time. Very cool. And then we'll finish up with our attacks. So right here, you're given the option to consume your elements, and by doing that, I wish I would know what that would do. But if you notice, I have a ton of rock elements, so I'm going to consume all those, and I believe that actually helps with your defense and the different and it may give you some sort of stats, a stat upgrade with fighting these guys. But if you notice, I can't use any of my cards. I only have 1 fire, and only both of my cards or both the two top cards have one box checked off. So if you notice, there is some sort of correlation between the gems on the very top and the cards, and how many you need to activate each card. So by attacking, that's how we get more of those gems. And I do believe that when you select an element to consume, it gives you the ability to obtain new elements to be able to use cards in the battle. So let's continue to keep attacking here. So we had a couple of greens, so we'll be able to use that. So he's out. There we go. And we kind of use the same element on him, so he just pretty much just healed him. Let's heal up first, though. Now, the thing that I like about this game that it took from Final Fantasy 13 is that there's this break ability. And if you notice, there's the green bar, which it shows the enemy's health, but it shows a red bar right below it. And that red bar is pretty much their break bar. And as they break, you're able to do more damage on them. So kind of like it's almost like Final Fantasy 13 a little bit. So I am dangerously low on health, so I may not make it through this battle. We'll find out, though. These guys look like they're easy to take out, so I'm going to save up my skills for the next round. And if you notice at the very top, it shows your score and the battle round that you have to go through. So there's 2 more battles that we have to do of this. So let's hope that I can get through this. So first we're going to consume that. Nice. Nice. Whew. He's about to take me out. Go, little heal up there. The guy's halfway broken, so this may take him out. Come on, there we go. And then, particularly on this match or this level or the world that I'm on, these guys have been showing up, and I have to beat every single one of them. So I may have to use a Phoenix down in this game. So let's see here. Let's see what we can do. Oh, that's doing barely anything. Woo. Yep, I'll be out. I'll be out right now. Yep, there it goes. So if you do exit, the game allows you to still continue on. There are, I want to say they're Phoenix Downs, or there's some sort of item that you can use to revive your character where it gives them full health. So we'll go ahead and do that. So let's see here. So this guy's fire. I really didn't prepare for this map as well as I thought I did. Oh, he can swing all the fires, but let's do this. These guys are sleeping on me. They don't do a lot of damage, but they can be quite annoying too. There we go. Get him out of there. And boom. Take him out. So my next attack, I can take him out too. So he's out. Oh, I thought he was going to be out. He lived. There we go. This should take him. It's funny, using Vaughn's card kind of uses... It almost looks like his ability from Final Fantasy XII, which is pretty cool. These guys are sleeping on me. That's how weak I'm punching through these guys. There we go. Last guy. Guy's totally sleeping on me. There we go. So that's how the game works. There's a lot that goes on, and then of course, because I'm on such a crazy level, my I'll level up most of my cards by a lot. So level 32 here. I really don't know why it's showing a level 32 when I'm also level 8. Again, some of these things I'm still trying to figure out why it does that. So we'll see what we got here. Looks like a card kind of, but we'll see what that does. We got some crystals, and not bad. So that's kind of how Mobius is. It's a honestly, I think it's a game that should come out to the Western countries. It's a really fun game. It can get really confusing from time to time just because it's in a different language, and if it was only in English, it would make the game that much better. Hopefully there's some way to change the text in the game. I still have yet to find out how that works, or if there is anything that's any sort of hacks that's out there that would be able to change the text of this game. But the game is really fun. If you notice, you kind of have to prepare yourself for the levels and make sure that you have the right cards available, because if you don't, you'll end up having to, not restart, but you'll end up having to use one of those Phoenix Downs, and those I'm sure will come in handy later on when facing bosses and such. But overall, the gameplay is really fun. The graphics are great on this, as you can see. The worlds that you come across with, they're just... some of these worlds are just really well detailed. There's just a lot to go on in this game. So if I could give this a score out of 10, honestly, I would give it a solid 10 if it was in English. But because of the lack of of information that I know to understand the game fully, I can't give this game an actual real score. Most of the Japanese games I can really figure out. This is the only one that I'm noticing that I'm having some trouble figuring out what to do with some of these other different menus. So I can't really give it a complete score yet. But if I had to, I would probably give it, honestly, with all graphics and the gameplay and everything, I'd probably give it, and with text, how it is right now, I would give it a good solid 8 out of 10. I think the card, social, and shop apps can be a little bit overwhelming, especially to newcomers who want to come into the Final Fantasy realm and try to play this game out. But as far as graphics and the gameplay go, it actually is pretty exciting, and it's awesome when you end up beating a battle or actually changing a new class or getting a new class through the purchase or the use of the crystal system. So that's my little review or just my talk about of Mobius Final Fantasy. I hope you guys do enjoy it. If you did like this review, go ahead and like it up and leave me a comment in the comment section too. And if you guys haven't noticed, I'm almost on my way to 100 subscribers. So subscribe, subscribe, subscribe. It'll be my first 100, and I would love to do a giveaway for my first 100 subscribers. It honestly has been so awesome that I've even come as far as I have within these past couple months to get 100 subscribers. But I really thank all of you for even just watching and staying tuned in for my videos. So I'm gonna hit it right now. I'm just gonna go. It's 11:38 right now. I wanted to make sure I get this review done for you guys by tonight, and I'm gonna go ahead and upload this so you guys can get this real soon. So this is Psycho Red signing off, and I hope you guys have a good rest of your night, guys. Peace.